Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Sisters channel. My name is Naima B. Robert, and today we have a very special guest for you. We are going to be speaking to the phenomenal Miss Sayyyidah Zaidi of Millionaire Muslimah. Sayyida, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you so much for coming to the Sisters channel today.
Jazakallah khair for the invite.
Now, for those of our viewers who have not seen your prolific output over the past few years, who have not read your books, who have not attended your courses, who do not know you from Facebook and Twitter, who is Sayyyidah Zaidi?
Oh, you really are going to ask me that question.
I am going to ask you that question.
Oh my God, who am I? I'm somebody who's struggling, like every other Muslim woman, to find her way in the world. I'm trying to do the best that I can on a daily basis, the best, inshallah, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at the same time, I'm trying to rock the world a little bit. I want to make something that is different. And I'll be honest, I think it's partly because I'm just fed up with the way that Muslim women have been perceived for the last hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And certainly in my lifetime, inshallah, I want to be part of a change. I started off life as an architect. I think for me, when I was growing up, going to university was the only option. So you go to university, trained, qualified, and then I had quite a serious car accident in the late 1990s. And I ended up in a wheelchair. And I remember, obviously I couldn't go to work and do very much, but I just remember kind of sitting there one day thinking, okay, is this it? And it made me realise that, I know that some people, because of the way that the accident will affect them, that is it for them.
Yeah.
But for me, I just thought, I just need to try. I need to see if there is another option. And alhamdulillah, as you can see, I'm not in a wheelchair anymore.
She's not in a wheelchair, I can vouch for that.
And for me, it really taught me so many lessons, because it made me realise that if you are determined enough and if you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help, really you can do anything. Often what happens is that we are the only people that get in our own way. But for me, the most powerful thing about that whole experience was just seeking the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if I didn't do that, I could have done exactly the same things and still ended up in the wheelchair. But I asked him for help. And I think that was the thing that tipped me over and made me, alhamdulillah, be in a position where I did recover. And I am now, I'm not as fit as I was in my 20s, but I am actually able to go about my day-to-day life as any person of my age, alhamdulillah.
That's really amazing, and I didn't know that about you. MashaAllah. And I think you're right about that having that positive mindset and feeling that you can do anything with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
I hear that. So of course, something to make a difference, something to make a huge difference is your new launch, which is Millionaire Muslima. And that is a very exciting project that's going to be launching this month, inshallah, in September. And I would really love you to tell our viewers all about Millionaire Muslima.
So Millionaire Muslima, in many ways, is like the culmination of everything that I've done in my life.
There's been a lot going on. Up to now, yes.
And I after I recovered my car accident, I went and got a corporate job and ended up, alhamdulillah, as director in local government, responsible for a budget of $500 million and the team that then goes with all of that as well. And I just remember one day, kind of like, I went home and I said to my husband, I'm not happy anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And bear in mind, I was the kind of main breadwinner. And mashallah tabarakallah, he just turned around and said, look, if you're really that unhappy, leave and we will make it work.
MashaAllah.
And for me, again, that was very insightful, because I had a cushy job, I had a cushy life and all of that. And I was
exactly. Like, I'm just thinking, many people would die for that. Many people spend their whole lives working up to that point. That's their highlight.
And it was exactly that for me, because my ambition used to be that I wanted to be the first hijabi chief executive in local government. But I kind of got that close and realised I didn't really want it anymore. And so what I then did after leaving was I realised that actually, as you kind of go up the corporate ladder, you spend a lot of time mentoring and coaching others. And so I thought, how can I take that skill set and actually help others to achieve the things that I had done and progress in their careers? So kind of like, let's take all of that and fast forward to today. what I'm doing now is with Millionaire Muslimah, I'm taking a lot of the work that I do one-to-one with people and actually put it together in a package that's much more accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
So the work that I'm doing to show Muslim women how they can kind of start their business from home and actually go to a place where they are, inshallah, financially independent and can be millionaires. You know, it's real, it can be done. It's just, I think what I'm trying to do with this project really is give somebody all the stuff that I wish I had when I started in my journey.
So it's a bit of life coaching, a bit of business coaching, a bit of mentoring as well?
It's primarily business coaching, but I think the thing is that whenever you have a business coach, there's always going to be an element of life that comes to it. So the first thing that I'll do is, you know, I really want to understand what are people's dreams and how can we make that into a reality. But, you know, when you're worrying about who's going to pay the rent or where the food's going to be put on the table, you can't you can't think about your dreams because you're too focused on the basics. And so really what I want to do is I want to shift women out of that because, you know, for many of us, you know, we have the mothers of the believers as our role models. And we have, and certainly for me, my kind of role model, I hope, inshallah, is Khadija, radhiAllahu anha. She was an amazing woman in so many different aspects. But the thing that inspires me most about her is that she had family, she also had business, and primarily she was trying to be the best slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that she could. And if I can even try and follow in her footsteps and help other people to do the same, then that for me is what kind of real empowerment is about.
SubhanAllah, I remember when we spoke about Khadija radhiAllahu anha the other day when we had a chat, and I remember thinking that I had actually never seen her in the way that you described it to me before. I didn't see her as a divorcee. I didn't see her as a single mother. I didn't see her as a widow. She was just this amazing woman, mashallah, who supported Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam and had his children and supported him in his mission and, you know, trusted him and obviously proposed to him. We know these things. But the other side of who she was and really the issues that she had to deal with, a lot of women face those issues. A lot of women now are raising children on their own. A lot of women are, unfortunately, you know, divorcees or even losing their husbands to death and are struggling through that phase of, I don't know where the next meal is coming from. You know, really living in scarcity. So I really love this idea of taking the example of Khadija radhiAllahu anha and feeding it into like a new mindset almost.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, when you look at her story, it's inspirational. It really is. You know, her mentor was her father. He taught her business, mashallah. You know, and so when she first got married, she actually funded her husband to set up his own business. Now, I'm gonna ask some controversial questions. One, who is man enough to allow their wife to do that? And two, which woman has the courage to be able to support her husband to do that? This is the kind of thing that I think we need to go back to. You know? And then unfortunately for Khadija, her husband died. So she was left with 2 children and a business to run.
And can I just say, for a lot of women, that's the end point for them, because they've built a life and they've built their dreams based on this life that they have. When they lose that husband, I know from having interacted much more with widows lately, is that it's like life has ended. It's like there is no more of the dream. That dream is dead, really. And now it's just about survival. It's just about getting through. There's no talk of dreams. There's no purpose. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, really. Not in this life, anyway. And I feel that mindset is really crippling, and I think it's a really dangerous mindset to have, actually, if you're going to live fully, you know, and really make the most of the life that you have.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think we also have to think about, why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kind of give Khadija radhiAllahu anha all of the experiences that she had and then make her into a role model for us? Because she isn't just a role model for women who want to have careers and you know, inspiring to be the best Muslimah that they can. She's a role model for single mothers, like you said, you know, single mothers, divorced women, women who've lost their husband, women who are just struggling with life generally. And when we look at what she managed to do, it is really, really inspiring. And I think, I suppose what would encourage all Muslim women to do is to look at all aspects of her life rather than just the ones that are publicized.
Yes.
You know, because the other thing that really struck me was when we were putting together all of the kind of materials for Millionaire Muslimah, we kind of realized that, you know, Khadija, radhiAllahu anha, in terms of as a businesswoman, she actually had people who were taking out her caravans and her goods and selling them on her behalf. And so when we take that example and bring it to modern day, you know, we have, mashallah, we have the internet and we have
dropship.
Honestly. And you kind of think, well, these tools have been created to help us to actually run our businesses from home.
She didn't have to sort of, you know, find childcare for the kids and sort of go with that caravan all the way to Syria or whatever. She was able to actually delegate and get other people to do that work for her. And at the end of the day, they still make the decisions at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And we can follow in those footsteps by doing exactly the same by running our businesses from home. And so for me, you know, mashallah, you know, alhamdulillah, Allah's given me a lot of opportunity in terms of my career, and I've had lots of success and lots of accolades. But you know, the thing is, if you ask me what is the most important thing that I've ever done, my most important job, it's to be a mother. You know, when my daughter was born, it completely transformed my life, and I learned more from being a parent than I did from everything else. So we know as women that is the most important job that we have, but that doesn't mean that we can't go out and use the intellect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us and the skill set that He's given to us. And I know for me, I don't want to be one that stands up on Judgment Day where Allah asks me about all of the gifts that He's given to me and I don't use them.
That's really deep. That's
really
deep.
It's my obligation to use these skills to help other sisters out there so that they can actually use their God-given talents as well. And I think with Millionaire Muslima, what we're trying to do is create unlimited opportunity for Muslim women globally. So yes, there's a huge amount of free resources. There's also some paid courses that are available. But at the same time, we are also kind of working with our strategic charity partner to make sure that we support Muslim women in the developing world through kind of giving halal microfinance grants. And that's how we are actually turning this into a global movement rather than one that's just focused at a particular kind of set of women. Because I want to make sure that we are providing opportunity to everyone, inshallah.
So basically what we are saying is that there's some free content to do with business and to do with, you know, managing a business, running your own business from home, starting your own business. And I believe that the content is quite in-depth.
Absolutely.
Is it sort of like from the ground up, or is it for people who have already got some kind of business skills? Who is it aimed at, would you say?
So it kind of, I mean, I think it covers both. Like when I put together the final list of all of the content, I sat there and I thought, man, I need to do this course.
That's what I thought too, by the way, when I heard all about it. It really did seem to me to be really in-depth. You know, from here, you know, from really your own core beliefs about yourself and about life and your role and your position in life.
You'll relate to this. You'll have your laptop open. There's dishes to be done and a wash that needs to be put on, and you're sitting there thinking, "What do I do? Do I do that?"
To salah, to go and pray, and there are lots of issues. It's you know, I mean, being a working mother has its own issues. But being a Muslimah, whether you're a mother or not, and trying to, you know, make your way in business and trying to be a successful businesswoman, it does have its finer points, shall we say, things that you may not have thought about. So if you're giving advice on that, then that's really invaluable.
And I mean, I've been through the struggle, you know, and even something as simple as, you know, should you show your face on a camera? You know, I've been through that struggle, and so I can sharing the advice that I've had from various different scholars, and I'm trying to do it in a way that enables people to then work out what fits them, you know, and what's comfortable for them. Because just because I do something doesn't necessarily mean that it's right for somebody else. But I'm sharing all of the information that I have, all of the learning that I've done in a way you make up your own conclusion and you go on your own journey, but know that I'm here as your guide.
I think for a lot of people it's a case of they just don't know enough. You just don't have enough information about how to go about this, and also anyone to mentor you or to help you and guide you through that experience. Okay, so this is fantastic for the sisters. All you sisters out there, millionairemuslimah.com, you know it's the place to be. But I want to know, are brothers excluded? Yay or nay?
So we had a very interesting discussion about that internally with the team, and we decided that even though the target audience is Muslim women, you know, we don't want to exclude anybody. So if a brother wants to enroll, they will benefit just as much from the information as the sisters will. You know,
because it's solid information, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's real business skills, it's real entrepreneurial skills, it's digital, it's everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic. If you've got a good course, why not share it?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Fantastic.
I hope that, you know, brothers are going to encourage their wives, sisters, mothers to sign up, and they should sign up themselves as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then don't encourage them to sign up, just sign up on their behalf. Present it as a present. So I'm sure it will go down very well. Okay, so give us the details of the how, the when, and give us some dates and what we need to look out for online, inshallah.
Okay. So if you go to millionairemuslimah.com, all of the information is there. During the month of September, that's when we are kind of launching the course, and that's when you can go and get some really, really awesome free training online. Once the course or once the launch is finished and, you know, available throughout the year actually are some guides that we have. So we've got the Startup Guide to Business.
Fantastic.
And we also have our VIP Startup Community. And the great thing about the Startup Community is that we are giving away over $1,000 of training and value over the course of the year for free.
Wow.
You just have to go to the guide, sign up to the community, and then you've got that, and you'll get like a monthly video and resources as well.
I think that idea of a community is very, very important. I found it completely transformational in terms of my own business and my own activities, because when you have a community of like-minded people, like-minded in the sense that they're coming from the same background as you, but have sometimes even bigger dreams and visions than you do, you learn so much, and it actually transforms the way you think about yourself and what you're capable of.
Absolutely.
And I've certainly experienced that. You know the group that I'm talking about on
absolutely.
Facebook, mashallah, and I've learned so much. And I think that sometimes with sisters, they find themselves being the only crazy one amongst a world of sane people. Everybody else is happy to just, you know, look after the kids, or maybe, you know, just do a little bit of something, and you know, they don't have anything else sort of in terms of dreams, in terms of ambitions, in terms of plans. So she's really very isolated in wanting more. Yeah. Whether it's financial, whether it's, you know, actually in terms of her life and wanting to achieve more, she could find herself very alone. Yeah. So when she speaks to people about her dreams, they just look at her like, what? Yeah. You know, they really
You're not allowed to
you
think
don't
like
have that. It's just like, what are you talking about? You know, so I think connecting people, especially mashallah, we have the internet now, being able to connect those sisters, I call them the dreamers and the doers, being able to connect the dreamers and the doers, for them to be able to see that there are other people like me. Absolutely. And they're like fuel, because they make you actually reignite those dreams and get you thinking about them again and give you new ways of thinking about them, and actually encourage you to go ahead and go for that. Go for it. I think it's a really, you know, very, very precious gift if you're able to do that and able to achieve that.
Absolutely. And I mean, the great thing about the course as well is that when you actually sign up for the Millionaire Muslimah course, then you're getting a step-by-step system to create your own online business in 12 weeks. And a strategic part of that is the special community we've created, but also we've got things like office hours, which means that basically the team is available once a week to answer any questions that anybody has. And we're also giving some high-performance coaching training, which is really, really awesome, because I'm kind of struggling to see what other business training is out there that provides you both the practical sides as well as the psychological side. Because especially for women, and look, I've been there, I've got the t-shirt and the scars on my back. What happens is that you get a little bit of success in the work that you're doing, and then all of a sudden your head just kind of like gets in the way. And things happen and you don't progress. But once you master the psychology of these things, actually you can achieve, inshallah, whatever you want to with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help.
So would it be fair to say that this is revolutionary?
I would like to hope so.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
May Allah give you all the success with that, and we are looking forward to the launch. As a sisters group, we're looking forward to the launch just as much as you are, maybe even more. And for those of you out there, millionairemuslimah.com, go onto the site, check it out, see what it's all about, get on there, get those free resources, get onto the course, get talking to other sisters who are on the same wavelength as you, on the same plan, and let's make some change in the world. Let's be the change we want to see. Inshallah, I will see you all at our next session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.